just very excited about the Crow remake that's coming out soon. Are you excited about that, John?
I'm gonna watch it, man.
So
I'm a
am I.
fan of the actor who's playing the lead, and I mean, The Crow was based upon, I think it was either Dark Horse or DC Comics. So I mean, yes, Brandon Lee was phenomenal, and it was an '80s movie. And who was the dude who was the bad guy?
Michael Wincott.
Yeah, there you go, man. I would tear my voice up if I just talked low like that the whole time.
Would.
It's like you need reverse helium. Yeah, but I mean, he's just seems so comfortable with it. But yeah, man, I mean, like, so that was good. I'm sorry that Brandon Lee was shot during the filming of the movie. They still pulled it off. I mean, like, the accolades to that. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm interested to see what it'll be like, man. It's not, like when Kathleen Kennedy was saying, oh yeah, well, we're just gonna do my version of Star Wars. Hey fans, sit and spin. So yeah, and so I was a bit pissed, but I mean, whatever, man. I didn't like the last three movies anyway, so whatever, man. I've got my 6. It's kind of like if Deadpool sucks, Deadpool 3. I've still got 1 and 2, man.
They've been ruined, John. If Deadpool v Wolverine is terrible, then you can never watch the first or second one again because they're dead. They are just dead and buried.
Right.
Apparently, that's the rules of the internet, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But I love The Crow, the 1994 one. I saw it at the cinema.
Dude, I thought it was made earlier than that. That is crazy. But you are correct.
94.
And, as always, Stuart. And but yeah, that was shot in Wilmington in North Carolina, out at De Laurentiis Studio, which is now Screen Gems. So random. Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that one. I knew who Brandon Lee was because he'd done Rapid Fire, he'd done Showdown in Little Tokyo with Dolph Lundgren previously, obviously son of Bruce Lee, so all that came out in interviews. Brandon was tragically killed. The film came out. I think a lot of people went to see it because they knew it was the Heath Ledger effect, and the Fast 7 effect. People went, how are they going to finish this film? I'm morbid, I'm curious, I'm going to go watch it. And they discovered in all the cases that it was a good film had been salvaged out of all that.
Yeah. And I mean, back in the 90s, they didn't have the digital toolkit that they have now. So yeah, man, back then especially. And then who was the actor who was in Gladiator who died? The older guy.
Oliver Reed.
Yeah. And we didn't know how they were going to pull that off, but it was very believable. And I don't know if it was an ILM thing or whatever, but yeah, man, I mean, solid stuff. And now it's just taken for granted. It's like, oh yeah, well, that guy blew up. We'll replace him with a digital double, and no one will be the wiser. So.
And I think you can obviously look up to see which scenes in The Crow were, done with body doubles, because there's a lot of shooting from the back of the head, and then there's a shot where he looks through the glass, and it's a cracked glass, so that's a digital effect. Most of The Crow had been done. I don't know what the percentage was. It was probably about 90% or something. So there was a very small bit that they needed to do. They finished it. Film came out. It was a good film. It's become a cult film over the years. Now we're getting a remake, and a lot of the internet are really mad. They're really angry about it because they're like, don't remake a classic.
Right.
It's been certainly been remade, sort of. There's been a bunch of sequels, but they don't mention those.
Did they was there not a TV series as well?
There was. I wrote them down. So in 1994, we got The Crow, the Brandon Lee one. 1996, we got The Crow, City of Angels, which is god-awful.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of like Butterfly Effect too, right?
Yes, it was
it was
a quality drop like that.
Yeah. It's just kind of like, hey man, people will buy it anyway. So carry on with your
or Donnie Darko and then S Darko.
Ooh, right. Yeah.
Rough.
Which, if anyone is wondering, the S doesn't mean hope. The S means shit.
See, same answer. We know we're on the same. We're on the same wavelength.
Right.
The year 2000, you get The Crow Salvation. As a film on its own, it's not bad. As a remake, sequel, whatever to The Crow, it ain't good. 2000, I have no idea.
Okay.
That's how much I paid attention to that one. I watched
You made your list. Yeah.
It's got a good soundtrack. 2005, we get The Crow, Wicked Prayer. Never even seen that one.
That was the one where Danny DeVito played the Crow, right?
It probably was. And then in 1998, so we're jumping back, for one season, we get The Crow, Stairway to Heaven TV series starring Mark Dacascos.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
He's like a martial artist. He was in, he had like a small part, I think, in one of the John Wick movies, if I remember rightly. He's a name. He's a name for these sort of direct-to-video martial art movies. That were good. So direct-to-video isn't a bad thing. It's just a thing.
Right.
So, but then the internet are like mad. They're going, how dare you touch The Crow? Leave it alone. It's been redone loads of times already.
Yeah.
How is it a bigger issue now? Because they just don't know about these sequels and TV shows.
Yeah. Did anybody bring up the fact that the star, and I'm just spacing on his name,
Skarsgård,
that he's played a clown before? You know what I mean?
No.
Because he was in it, man. No one sees, and then what was that? There was a TV series that he was in where he played, I think he was a vampire. I don't think he was the wolf.
No, that was different. That was his brother, True Blood.
Oh, this was actually, it had, oh my gosh, man. I should have just made notes for my notes. It was something Lane or something, but it had, oh my gosh, I think I know which one. I keep wanting to say Mulberry Lane, and that is so not there. But it was vampires and werewolves, and the werewolf, he would turn in, he would kind of like shed his skin and he'd be a werewolf, and then he'd shed that skin and come back to being human.
I remember that. It had something to do with Eli Roth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that one up now because that'll bug me. I know it's a 2-word title, and it sounds like Cherry Tree Lane, but it's not. But it has that sort of thing, or something manor or something like that. I know it's gonna really bug me, and I don't really want to remember it at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up screaming, going, "It's such and such." It's not. Hemlock Grove.
Hemlock Grove. Thank you.
That was 2 words. Here we go.
There. Yep. Yeah.
That's good show.
2 syllables though, it throws you off, right? Yeah.
It does.
But that was I think the first thing I'd seen him in. And he comes from a very talented family. So when he played Pennywise, I just thought, man, that's a waste, but he did an excellent job.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what he does in The Crow. And then what was his brother Skarsgård was in that Barbarian movie or something where he was drinking blood, seeing the dead, and killing lots of people. So
I'm not looking that one up. You can find out without yourself. But I think I put a posting up going, you can like the 1994 one, and you can like the 2024 one, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay to like both. Or if you don't like one, you can like the other. It's all good. Right. And, I got a lot of likes and people going, I agree. Yeah. I was hoping the trolls would invade it and I'd get some, go viral or whatever. But no, it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
But you can like both.
It's one of those things, man. I mean, it's like some food that you have been told that you wouldn't like because someone knows, but then you try it and you're like, wow, man, this is really good. So, or you could try it and go, no, I really like the other way. I like the other kind of, pizza or whatever. So